Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today because we are having a tete-a-tete with Clash over here, and she's telling us what could possibly very well be lies, but there's some truth in the middle of the lies there, specifically about this Ruby person who is the leader of the Hardy Boys, and so we might be able to go back down to Titus and just, you know, ask him about Ruby, but we were asking her about what happened when she went downstairs after the murder occurred. So let's go on then. What's then? What then? Well, Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I show her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. It's also, yeah, Ruby was the one that suggested that they hang him, by the way. As we learned a couple of episodes ago, or last episode. Was it a couple of episodes ago? It was a couple of episodes ago. But it is also telling that he, or Titus, specifically referred to both Klaji and Ruby as the girls, which could mean one of two things. And I don't know which one to think of. It could just be a reflective, sort of misogynistic take on it, where he's just like, he sees women as all, you know, they're women. And so no matter what position the power Ruby was in, because apparently Ruby was his boss, or his leader anyway, he still sees her as a woman and just refers to both Klaji and, or Klaj. I keep saying Klaji, I'm sorry. It's the J sort of throws me off. Klaj. That Titus might see them two as you know, lumped in the same group. It might be that, and if it is, well, it's great writing because that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that Titus, if Titus was that sort of person, is just sort of dismissive towards women in general, but not necessarily in a fundamentalist way or anything like that. I mean. That is definitely a possibility, and I like that it's written like that because I mean, it probably is on purpose if it is written like that. However, there is another possibility, and that one is maybe a little bit more exciting because it implies things for the future. It could be that they are indeed both Klaj and Ruby, and also she was the first one she told, and I mean, although that might be for other reasons, they might be, you know, what's the word? Not comrades. You know, comrades. They might be comrades. What's the word? What's an English word that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with socialism? Like comrade. Anyway, yeah, roommates. That's what comrade means at the end of the day. It's not roommates either, but, you know, it's, anyway. But it could be that. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into the girls, but that was definitely a line that stuck with me because we also asked specifically about the girls. But anyway, she continues. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used the belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. To mislead you, says our perception. They were tampering with the body. To produce lividity matching a hanging, says Kim. Yes, says Klaj. We completely missed the tempering. It looks like you got there in time, says Kim. Or was this 20 minutes after death? What the heck is lividity? That's not the bleeding around the neck. Although it might be. Our visual calculus says, oops. Shut up, visual calculus. You're useless. About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what it does. She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough. But I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. He'd gotten him ready by then. I had gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. And so I did. This Ruby. Where's this Ruby now? I don't know. I haven't seen her since. We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boy, says Kim. Yes, we will. Interesting, says our logic. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. Yes. That might be the comrades thing that I was talking about. What are you doing? Asks our volition. Our logic replies, coming up with a theory? She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. Also, she didn't mention the shot, so it might have been a silenced shot. Or suppressed. Or it could have been from far away, although you would hear... It's super loud anyway. As far as I know anyway. I've never heard a supersonic shot being shot from great distance. At the distance, or at the site of impact. But you'd still hear it from outside, most likely. Or I guess it depends if it would break the window. You wouldn't hear anything. It's just like shatter. But we have an option to ask that. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot? When he was shot? She asks. I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. The gunshot wasn't that loud, asks our perception. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. Yeah, if we find the place that it was shot from. Why did I... Did you kill Lely? This is me doubting her, isn't it? Lely is the victim here. Or rather, the hanged person, the hanged man. Could the people after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. And? I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week I've tried to not talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at her cigarette, so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. And she's also staying out here in the open, even at 11 at night, which is right around the time that it happened. Either way, something to consider. We can't go after loose cap, says Kim. Not yet. There are other saner leads. I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Klaj, did you kill Ellie? What? She gathers the last vestiges of her strength. Why would I put myself through this insanity? Get myself cornered like this? There's a silence. The wind picks up. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him. It could have been a desire murder, says our suggestion. Maybe an act of jealousy. Our logic says, he was a serviceman. He must have had a gun somewhere lying around, close to her hand. Our volition says, now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out. One day her obviously just stabs in the dark. Actually, I kind of want to know about that gun. He must have had a weapon nearby. Did you see that? No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor. Huh. It doesn't make sense that, like, nobody mentioned a gunshot. It doesn't make sense. She would have had to have a suppressed weapon in here for people not to mention the gunshot downstairs, most likely. It's okay if you did it in self-defense, I'm gonna say. I did not kill him to defend myself from rape, she says. I told you before, that wasn't what happened. True, sire. This true. Or 'tis true, says Drama. Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss. Like what? She waits, her light brown eyes wandering over the floor, over your face. When was the window changed? Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. She takes a drag. You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there, says our visual calculus. Visual calculus, you're terrible at reconstructing things. Yeah, I need more experience to improve you a little bit. In her bedroom inside? Yes, it says. You see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. That's visual calculus talking, by the way. Okay, I think we're done here for now. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. Kim says. The lieutenant glances at you and then at the door. He's thinking, are we done here? Says our esprit de corps. Or should we arrest her? Says our volition. She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, says our drama. That won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge, says our volition. You have to wake multi-face up forcefully if you want to continue pushing her. That's an easy one. In God's name, wake up, I suppose. I'm talking to myself, and that is a drama. That's multi-face. I didn't check to see the... Well, I guess I could look over here. Where's drama? Right there. Oh, grossness. Okay, yep. In God's name, wake up. Ah, we did it. It's a bad roll, but we did it. Who? What? Dear Lord. Ah, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just at all. Actually, that's the... That's end? Shouldn't he be fair et juste? Et? Just, you know, because et is in English. Or, sorry, in French. Because fair... Those are the French words for fair and just, I think. Fair doesn't mean fair in English, though. Fair means... Does it? Anyway. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps, says our drama. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in with her web of lies. Take it easy, says our volition. Don't overcompensate with this current, or with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, says our rhetoric. Start at the top, choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush. See? Says our drama. Our rhetoric knows what's up. Kim, you know what I mean? Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? There may be grounds here, Kim says, at least for an extended detention. A little whimper, our perception hears. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. You know, I'm gonna turn to her. I think you didn't make that call to the station. I did. She takes a step forward. What is this? I called your desk, or whatever it is. The numbers are all over the town. Call 802 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other hand. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint and she coughed. That is the emergencies desk number, says our encyclopedia. Anyone could know that, sir. Or, that's drama talking. Anyone could know that, sir, or sire. By looking around and calling the desk, I don't believe a single word she says. Nah, you're over-conversating, drama. Shut up. What time did you make the call? Asks Kim. Thursday night. It was late. Sometime after 12. The lieutenant nods in your direction. It checks out. I'm gonna say nothing. She stands before you, holding her back very straight. Your real name is Claude Amadou. I agree, says Kim, and he turns to her. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you. Okay. Her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? Okay. It's not. Good, I'm gonna say. You can tell me the truth. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Cominsur. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name, so I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. She looks at her hands, her fingernails are chipped white. I'm so tired of it. Tell me your real name. It's Katarzine Lashi. That's... Is that Dutch? That sounds... That sounds made up, honestly. I don't think those are real names. That sounds Polish or something. Czech, maybe? The CZ. I read it as sh, but I think German also has CZ. And I don't know how it's read there. I don't know languages very well. The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so. Finally we meet. Katarzine Alaji. Oh, it's written differently. Oh, it's a Klaji. Klaj. Is it a typo? Or is it not a typo? Is it like a pun? Because I think this is a real name. It's a mixture, isn't it? Not really. I don't know. There's definitely typos in here, and I don't know what to believe. The CZ being transformed into an S is probably an Anglicization, that just for readability. Katarzine Alazi? Finally we meet, I'm gonna say. And she nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof. Enough. Of the name, I suppose. What if I told you you're under arrest, Katarzine Alaj? But I haven't done anything. She backs up against the railing with a forced smile on her face. Anything illegal? Failure to aid a police investigation, says our authority. She purposely misrepresented information crucial to the case, says our rhetoric. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now, says our drama. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. You misrepresented information about the case. Without the Hardys' confession, we'd know nothing. I didn't mean for this to happen, by the way. Kim is taking decisions here. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs. Please, no. Her eyes become round with fear. She tries to back further off. I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you. Ooh, this is going in directions that I honestly wasn't expecting, but I suppose it makes a lot of sense. What do you know? Who shot him? She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty, and then in a hushed voice she says, Our empathy says gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her. Ruby. Oh, that makes sense. I think our empathy is compromised here. It makes sense, but it is also very convenient. And again, I don't know if they're in this together. And how could she have killed him? She could have had access to the roof. She points to the barred door next to the window. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs? She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here where I stand. It was dark outside, I wouldn't have seen her. Then slip back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible, says our savoir-faire. Interesting theory, says Kim. Did she know that door exists? Existed? Because did she? Yeah. Had you been out here with her? Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me before it got weird. Why do you think it was her? She has this thing for me. Ever since oh, that's what the weird was, maybe. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs, she's been pretty frank about what she wants. I know, And what is that? Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she says in a near whisper, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but... I don't understand, says Kim. Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious to understand that immediately as she started protecting her, especially with the quotation marks, because those are supposed to be quotation marks, the relationship imbalance would be... Well, she pushed it way far beyond any level of fairness, and she just said, shit would happen, and yeah. Kim says, I don't understand, and sounds incredulous. He still has the cuffs in his hand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you? Didn't she say? She's been pretty frank about wanting sex. She said she's in love with me, says Clash. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship. And you led her on, says Kim. The lieutenant narrows his eyes. A little. I was flattered, but then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. She looks at her feet. We maybe kissed. Nothing more. Yeah. When she says I came to regret being friendly with her, I was gonna make a comment about, yeah, that's a thing that, some people get misunderstood, friendliness. Some people misunderstand friendliness for something more. And then, when in a situation like this, people can come to regret the friendliness. But no, that was kissing. That was kissing, and then I suppose, that's a little bit more than friendliness. If she said it, I came to regret kissing her, then I suppose it just puts it in different context. Nothing that there's anything, not that just because you kiss somebody, it means that you're in love with them, of course, but, it's definitely her leading her on, I suppose, or, I don't know, maybe... there's a lot of ways where this could have been just completely legitimate of her, and not just being purposely manipulative for her own benefit. It sounds like she was fixated on you. This is just an assumption, says Kim. I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. She raises her eyes to meet yours. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up, like she had a plan. This is a familiar theory, says our logic. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching. Yet again, says our volition, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true, says our volition. When Ruby said there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you? She came over one night, drunk, said she had turned my life into a living hell. Or she would turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be, to keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but she looks through the window of her room. Okay, that's it for Ruby. Okay, and what? Says our volition. Arrest the liar! Now, says our drama. Don't arrest her, says our authority. Push her a little bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful, says our authority. Which is part of the... Dang it, it's a different one. Our authority is definitely compromised as well. Who? Her! Stop letting her distract you, says our volition. Should I arrest her? I don't want to arrest her. I'll just be clear on that. However, there's more than just want here. There's duty, there's a specific type of, like, arresting isn't a neutral action for sure. I can't just arrest her and be like, oh, that's my duty. It's not my duty to... Well, I suppose it is. There was a line there where I also... apparently, the RCM also investigates corporate espionage. But screw that. Basically. So I think on that alone, I can just make the decision of not arresting her. But it might be that she is in with Ruby and making this last bit all up. It might be that she's lying about that, in which case she's probably gonna run away. But I still have a lead for Ruby, so yeah. Okay, I'll keep you here, miss, for now. Thank you, she cradles herself for warmth. Thank you. You won't regret it. Something tells you you will, says our volition. Yes. Let's change the subject for the time. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath as if in the presence of some tiger. Let's return to this later. And with that, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.